Hi everybody, this is Jamal from Jayz Internet Solutions. Welcome to another episode of Jayz TV. This week we're only talking about cloud computing, and today's episode is titled "The Clouds Are Soaring." Okay, we're going to talk about some stats of the success of cloud computing. In this ebook that is available on the Jayz Internet Solutions website, we'll be reading from this particular ebook the rest of the week. It says, for years, people have banked online, shopped online, prepared their tax returns online, and communicated using webmail accounts, all without having any database or software for these applications resident on their computers. Okay, so for a number of years now, we've been using internet banking, we've been doing some shopping online, and we've been doing using these cloud services, these internet services, without realizing that cloud computing was where every business and all our business and computing operations were going. Okay, and I remember one particular incident a couple of years ago when I was on holiday. I needed to access internet banking very urgently one day, and I was at the hotel, and I simply went to the internet cafe next door, and I went online. I accessed my banking. And I actually was amazed at how easy it was to sort of do what I had to do. And that was a number of years ago. And today, sort of every hotel has an internet sort of kiosk where you can access the internet and, sort of access whatever you need to. So that's where sort of things are going. And people are realizing, businesses are realizing the importance of the internet and the importance of access to the internet. Okay, that's why getting online these days is extremely sort of easy to do with all the amount of facilities that we have available. Okay, we're going to get into some stats here. By 2011, early technology adopters will forego capital expenditures and instead purchase 40% of their IT infrastructure as a service, says the Gartner Group. Okay, now we all know the Gartner Group very well. Increased high-speed bandwidth makes it practical to locate infrastructure at other sites and still receive the same response times. Okay, so one sort of challenge we had with the internet in maybe a decade ago was the speed of the internet. Okay, so we had dial-up and similar speeds, and transferring files over such a slow connection was sort of a tedious process. Now with very fast bandwidth sort of infrastructure, accessing data on the internet versus accessing data via cable on your sort of local network is sort of much of the same speed. So we're not talking about sacrificing speed anymore when it comes to the internet. Okay, and this Gartner sort of statement says that by 2011, early adopters, so early technology adopters are people that are sort of they take the the forefront in adopting new technology. They're not sort of the laggards and people that wait sort of for other companies to first adopt things before they go ahead and try it. So early technology adopters will forego capital expenditures and instead purchase 40% of their IT infrastructure as a service. So capital expenditure is sort of the old model, okay? Buying servers, buying a whole lot of software applications, software licenses. So 40% of these companies will sort of discard that and instead opt for cloud computing services where you pay minimal fees and you pay monthly costs that can be stopped at any time. Okay, as we mentioned in the previous episode, there's a paradigm shift with cloud computing and the whole Web 2.0 space. Capital expenditure, huge capital expenditure is out, and monthly incremental service costs are in, and being tied to long-term 2-year and 1-year even contracts are also out. So month-to-month payments are in, where you can opt out and cancel that service at any time. Okay. Pew Research Center, right, says that 69% of America's internet users are using some form of internet-based computing. Okay, such as web-based email, photo storage, and other services. Okay, so 69% of America's internet users are already using cloud services. Okay, so that's phenomenal. Like I said earlier, most people don't even realize that they're using cloud services. And now the shift is, how do we use this for business? How do we cut costs? How do we become more productive? How do we sort of make our organizations more effective by using cloud services? Okay. According to Merrill Lynch, by 2013, 12% of the world's software market will be internet-based forms of SaaS, software as a service, and cloud computing. Okay, so by 2013, which is only 3 years away from now, 12% of the world's software market will be internet-based forms of cloud computing. So this is according to Merrill Lynch, a company we all know very well as well. And they're saying that by 2013, 12% of our software will be internet-based. So a whole lot of the software that we use, predominantly, most of us use a lot of Microsoft software. There's a big move to open source software now as well. And all of this software is sort of dominating the world. And by 2013, 12% of them, of the software will be internet-based. So that's going to be a big shift. Microsoft, a sort of proprietary software company, is also moving a lot of its services onto the cloud with web-based applications that they have now and are sort of starting to launch and roll out in recent times. Okay. So with so many people comfortable with personal forms of cloud computing, the migration to using it for business productivity was inevitable. Now that trend is gaining traction. Okay. So as I mentioned, that businesses are starting to sort of wake up to this and to see how they can use cloud computing to sort of meet their business needs. Okay, there's a couple more stats here, but we're out of time, and I just want to sort of impress on you that cloud computing is real. The stats are sort of indicative of where this is all going. And tomorrow's episode is about getting our foot in the door with cloud computing by email. Okay, so we're going to start there and sort of go into cloud computing more and more after we get into email. So this is all I have for this episode. I hope you've sort of understood a bit more about why cloud computing is effective, and the rest of the week we'll go on with this topic. That's all for today. My name is Jamal. Until we talk again, crush it.